Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing well. Happy May 4th. May the
May
4th be
the
with you.
4th be with you, and may you experience the force surging through every cell, every fiber, coursing through your very being today. As a matter of fact, you can experience that many moons ago. To celebrate May 4th, I created the Force session. There's a link
Wow.
in the description where you can go and experience the Force awakening within you in this incredible hypnosis session to help
Yep.
unlock your latent abilities to take things to the next level in whatever direction you want to go. So the Force session is awesome. Have you ever listened to the Force session, Curtis?
I don't think I have.
Ooh, dude. You should listen to that. Take it
Check
to
it
the
out.
next
Yeah.
level.
Yep.
So, let's
Second.
see. Positive focus. What are you happiest or most excited about today, Curtis?
Well, today is Sunday, so I have a day off. That's awesome. And then my kids should be coming home shortly from her friends. They had a sleepover. And then later today, I'll probably do some fun stuff outside with her. If it's not raining too hard,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see.
It's pretty wet down here today, too. I just went out for a 6 miler with a couple running buddies, and that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, had a good invigorating morning.
Yeah.
I'm also excited because I've been trying a lot of new things recently. I just yesterday did my first live stream on Whatnot.
What's that?
Well, Whatnot's cool. I did a little yesterday's episode. I talked a little bit about Whatnot.
Okay.
Whatnot has been around for a few years, and I didn't
Mhm.
really pay attention to it. And I've heard Gary Vee talk about it a few times, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, what's this all about? And, I've been a digital marketer pretty much exclusively for 2 decades, right? I
Yep.
like I have sold live events that I've done, like small live events, and at one point, back in the day, we did like physical home study courses with binders and CDs and DVDs and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff.
No way.
But for the most part, I've sold digital programs, courses, trainings, and recordings, right? And Whatnot is all about the physical world. And the best way these people invite me to co-host while I'm in the middle of doing my show, and I don't even know who they are. It's like, what are these guys
Oh,
doing?
TikTok.
TikToking it. Welcome, TikTok, everybody. By the way, I just want to give some welcomes here. I have like a ton of people on here. Morel, Roland, Dalton, Pizak, Robin, Waysilk, Ramara, Braxton, the lovely Chan Money, Tracy, what's up? Hal, Jorgan, Mookster, user number, Jake, what's up? John, we got Old Hippie 69. What's up, Old Hippie 69? Shirley, Eric. People are so funny on social media. They give themselves names that they would like be very embarrassed to say publicly, but they think they're being
Mm-hmm.
anonymous, and then they realize it's not actually that anonymous anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Brent Mack. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show. This is episode 124 of the Daily Get Shit Done show. It's May 4th, 2025, Star Wars Day.
Yep. Awesome.
May the 4th be with you.
You, sir?
So, Whatnot. There's a weird echo going on, dude. Why is there a weird echo happening?
I don't know.
That doesn't quite
No
make
idea.
sense. Do
Yeah,
you?
I'm on my speakerphone, so should be no echoes.
There's an echo coming in from somewhere.
Of me
It's a little
talking?
weird. What's that?
When I talk, you get it, or after?
When I talk,
Oh,
when I talk, I hear an echo of my voice after I say it.
I don't know. Some delay somewhere. I don't know.
Very weird. So maybe this will fix it. Nope, that didn't fix it. Anyway, Whatever. Did it fix it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, so no, it totally didn't fix it. Do you have earbuds?
Yeah. Take a look.
Cool. So while you're looking for earbuds, Whatnot is it's kind of like setting up a pop-up tent at a flea market. Okay? That's what Whatnot is like. And you go in and you live stream like we're doing right now. And you can do solo live streams, which is what most people do. Or you can do collaborative live streams, which is what you and I, Curtis, are doing on Restream right now. And we're presenting it in the vertical format, in the portrait format. And we have us both live streaming. And we're also both pushing this out to our socials. Okay, so we have Restream, multi-stream capabilities. So Whatnot has similar, not as advanced, they don't have as many options, but they allow you to multi-stream to YouTube, to a Facebook page and a Facebook profile, and to Twitch. Those are the three ones they allow you to pipe out to. So you do a live stream, just like we're doing now. I mean, you're staring at your computer screen or your camera or both, and you're broadcasting live. It's the same thing. Okay. The difference is beforehand, you decide what you're going to sell, and you make a listing for each one, kind of like the way you do if you're going to sell something on eBay. And you can do a buy it now, or you can do an auction price. And there are cool little parameters that you can set up on your auction. And hi and get out. Tellman, that is talking. What does that even mean, Ruth? What a funny statement. Hi and get out. Are you being nice or are you being mean? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Ruth being nice or is Ruth being mean? Hi and get out. Tellman, that is talking. Ruth.
Oh, I think she's trying to talk to somebody else. Tell them get out because you're talking. Maybe.
I don't know. Curtis is awesome. If you're bad mouthing Curtis, then leave, Ruth. Curtis is a rock star. So the basic idea is you pre-list whatever it is you're going to sell, and as far as I can tell, it's all physical goods. I don't know if it's actually genuinely limited to physical goods, because you may very well be able to sell a coaching program or sell a hypnosis session or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really fully checked out their capabilities, but what I do know is that it's focused on physical goods. And so it's kind of like you have a no, this is Gen Z. It means leave the live stream. I guess. I don't know who's talking to who. Thanks for the heads up, Monkey Man. What's up? I'm Tellman. You're Monkey Man. Are you related to Hanuman? I went to college with a guy named Hanuman. Hanuman's monkey god, of course, right? So you list what you're going to sell first, and you can put in the quantity if you only have one, or if you have 10 of them, or whatever. And then you basically do a live stream and you talk to your audience, and you're like, what's up, guys? Blah, 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 blah. Check out this cool stuff, whatever. And so my buddy Jeff Levine from Silk City Hot Sauce came over, and we did our first live stream on Whatnot, and we attempted to sell hot sauce. Nice. And we set up a display and made some nachos, and he brought over 9 different types and 3 bottles of each. And we tried auctions, and we tried selling individual bottles, and we tried 3-pack and a 9-pack. And we went for 44 minutes, and we got about 6 people that watched. And one of them interacted with us and told us that she liked Tabasco sauce. And Nobody else interacted with us, and we sold a grand total of 0 bottles of hot sauce. And it was awesome. Because we spent like an hour and a half talking about it beforehand, and we sat down and we figured out how we were going to split the profits if we made some money, and we just clonked our way through learning how to do a Whatnot live stream and sales presentation and auction. And we did our first one. And we learned all sorts of cool things about it. The first thing is that like Whatnot takes over, like at the end of the day, Whatnot takes a little bit more than 10%. So whatever you're going to sell, add 10%, right? Just like first and foremost, just add 10% to whatever you would normally sell it for. And so because if it's a physical product, then there's profit margin involved. And so, if you're going to be doing it on a regular basis, but so Jeff said he saw someone who was just like a woman who had made some freshly baked cookies and they were still on the tray. And she live streamed her making the cookies, and then she sold the cookies. And she said that she'd send them to you in the mail. Right? So like it's very physical, and you can sell stuff. And it also teaches you to be more interactive with your audience. It teaches you how to present. You learn how to sell. You can watch other people's presentations. You can see how it's working for them. But it's also very real. It's not so etheric and digital and weird. And so it's a lot like setting a pop-up tent up at a flea market or like an antique show, or when there's like a downtown block party where they block off a street and there are vendors set up all over the place. Same idea, except online. And you can definitely do it from your phone. You might be able to do it from your laptop, but we streamed from phone, and it was cool because as a result of doing that first live stream, they gave me $25 in promotional credit to promote my next live stream, which is because as I was doing the live stream, they kept on trying to sell me ads to promote the live stream. And I'm like, well, that's tricky, Whatnot, but no, I'm just playing with this to figure out how it even works right now.
Gotcha.
But then as a result of me live streaming, they give me a $25 ad, like promotional boost coupon. So I was like, okay, I will use that $25 next time to promote my live stream and see how many more viewers I get.
Yeah,
but
probably a lot more than imagine.
It does some other cool stuff. It if you invite people to join the app through your link, they give your people a $15 credit.
Oh.
So if you're inviting people from your email list or from your social or whatever, and they go through your link, they get a $15 coupon that they can use in your store or another person's store.
That's pretty neat. Sounds
you
easy.
Also can list your items and just have them be available for sale in your store. I don't know if people actually spend any time buying in that way, but maybe. And then you can, so you really need to list out all the products with photos and descriptions before you go live in order to make it work. Otherwise, it's a mess.
Hard to fill it in, I guess.
Yeah, and so what I would recommend is for your first one, you choose one thing you're going to sell, and just choose something from your house. Just choose an item that you'd like give away to like Goodwill or whatever anyway, and see if you can sell it.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't matter if you don't sell it because you're just practicing. Right. But so you give away 100 or you give away like, come join my show, come check out my show, and I'll give you $15. You get a $15 coupon. And so that's an incentive for you to get your following to join the app. But then if someone joins the app as a seller, I think they pay you $100.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you get someone to join as a seller, I think there's like $100 bounty or something like that. It might be $100 credit. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they incentivize you to get people to join the app and to get people to sell on the app, which is pretty sweet. And it's if you're willing to take an hour or two to set it up and figure it out and like just do it, it's cool. I saw a guy who was dressed up as Willy Wonka, and he had like an empty cardboard box, and behind him was like steel shelves with candy. It was like in a storage room somewhere. And he's like pulling the Skittles off, and he's pulling the M&Ms off, and he's pulling the candy bars off, and he's adding them to this mix box, and then he's auctioning the mix box off.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
It's like, somebody's going to get this, and it's going to be at an unbelievable price. Who wants it? Kind of a thing. And so there's a lot of, there can be anyway, a lot of showmanship involved, because you're like all these people who are essentially vendors on the sidewalk trying to get your attention as you walk by, right? That's basically who you are. And so it's cool. It's cool. I did my first one of those, and in the meantime, still diving deep on WAP, and so that's super cool. And so I actually decided while I was taking a shower earlier that I'm going to use the urgency, because I just realized it was May 4th. Like my girlfriend texted me a little bit ago. She's like, "May the 4th be with you." And I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot about that." And I think I'm going to use the urgency of May 4th to put the Force session, which I've been selling for over 10 years, on WAP, and launch it on WAP just to get something available for sale on WAP right away. Right. Just get it done. And I have to do it today. So I'm just going to kick it into high gear and stop dragging my feet on fully launching. So that's a little trick, by the way, guys. Like if you find that you're not making the progress that you want to, use real deadlines as leverage in order to get your ass in gear. Right. Sometimes that's what I have to do. And in this case, I've known about WAP for over a month, and I have a free WAP that I haven't really promoted. And I haven't set up my paid WAP, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do everything with all the details. And I realized that I'm doing that stupid thing. So I'm going to use May 4th to launch one of my old products on WAP and just get her done, and like make my first dollar on WAP. Right.
Get some shit done.
That's right. So, Curtis.
Yeah.
Last week, we had a very important discussion.
We did.
And the discussion, we got Monkey Man and Prime Mongrel. I'm not joking. Look at this. Monkey Man let me know that what Ruth meant, what platform was it? Yeah, these are all people who are chiming in and talking on YouTube that don't even know us. So weird. So Monkey Man says, no, this is Gen Z. It means leave the live stream. So I guess, earlier Ruth from Gen Z like really didn't like us. So, and we're getting hecklers. You know what? As soon as you're getting hecklers, you're doing something right, Curtis. That's for the record. I mean, as long as you're not just like spewing hate or whatever,
Yeah.
And so we got Monkey Man here responding to Angry Ruth, and then we have Prime Mongrel showing up. What's up, Prime Mongrel? It's such a badass name. And then we got Andrew Johnson VIP. Boom. What's up, Andrew Johnson VIP? Good to see you. Welcome. This is Get Shit Done, episode 124 of the Daily Get Shit Done show. We're talking about getting shit done. And Curtis,
yes,
you're trying to get more shit done. And last week we talked about why are you even trying to break free as an entrepreneur? Why? What's the point? Other than just making more money so that you cannot have to work a job? Why? Yeah. What are you really trying to create, and what's the meaning behind it that your fans, that your followers, that your readers, that your viewers, that your clients, that your customers are going to care about? when they
Yep.
right. So how did that go in your search for meaning this week?
For meeting this week, well, I use ChatGPT.
Did you figure out what makes the universe work?
Not quite. Not quite. I think that's a mystery for all of us still. But anyway,
Okay.
what I found out using ChatGPT, I put
Yeah.
just me a little bit. I told it to help me do a mission statement. It came up with some cool stuff. I tweaked it a little bit, and it came out pretty good. You want to hear it?
Totally.
Okay. So my mission statement for hardworking parents: I am building this business to break the chains of financial stress and create a life of true freedom for my family. I want us to live without limits, to travel, to make unforgettable memories like going to Disneyland. And while being debt free and financially secure, my mission is to help parents rise above self doubt and show them making money online isn't just possible, it's their path to freedom. I chose this journey because I believe in living on my own terms, spending more time with my family, and building a legacy of wealth for my daughter. Every step I take is a future where my family thrives, where we are free from worry, and we have more than enough to live fully and abundantly.
Cool. Cool. So that goes, it's certainly a much more like emotionally connected idea,
Yep,
and you're getting clear on you and your family, and the way in which you want to provide for you and your family,
yep, yes,
right? That's good. And so Curtis, I really need you to think deeply about this because
yep.
you're still missing the mark.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not asking about the self-serving reason that you want to make more money. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody cares why, like, about that you want to eat at better restaurants. Nobody cares that you want to not
Okay.
have to go in and work at a crappy job because they have to work at a crappy job, right? Like it's cool. That's cool as a personal mission. There's nothing wrong with anything that you just read. It's all
Yeah.
real, it's all important, it's all significant. Okay? But what it's not is motivating or beneficial or resonant for someone that you are trying to get to join your email list.
Yep.
It's not significant or resonant for someone that you're trying to get to buy a product or service that you're recommending or offering. So the question isn't, why do you want more money for your family? That's not the question. The question is,
Yep.
what are you creating for other people that matters? What's the mission? What are you trying to create? Not what are you going to get out of what you're trying to
Mhm.
create?
Yep.
What are you trying to create?
Well, basically, I'm trying to create a way so that other people can sort of know that there's a better way of doing stuff online and using the tools and techniques that I used and help them change their life, hopefully. Because there's
Okay.
things I've done that are a little bit different than somebody else that works for me. It may not work for everybody, but some people might resonate with what I'm doing because they may look at me as like, hey, I work 10, 12-hour days too. I've done construction. I tried some family singly for a few years. Then the wife started working. And then, now we have no time to see each other. And a lot of our time is spent like pockets of doing things with each other, right? So, like, on a Saturday, we all went shopping at the mall for a couple hours, right? Then today it would just be my daughter for the afternoon, stuff like that. So, there's like times when you rather have the money to make things that like that happen where you don't have to work two jobs or work 10, 12 hours a day. You can work like maybe 8 hours as an average person or maybe 4 hours perhaps. So then once you break free of the 9 to 5 stuff, that the freedom is more prominent.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to achieve myself. And I want to help others with me to bring them along the journey.
Right. Right. So the challenge, Curtis, is that you're following. The number of people that I've
Yep.
heard tell me some version of that story
Uh-huh.
is shocking,
Yep.
huge. And every single one of them never make any money.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you why I think that is,
Okay.
and try to help you find a clearer path. Okay.
Okay.
Um, did you know that I spent 3 years of my life selling luxury cars?
No.
Yeah. I was a luxury car salesman. I specialized in selling Jaguars. And I was the from the first month, I was the number one Jaguar salesman. But you have to understand that I could have sold Fords. I could have gone to the Ford dealership.
Yep.
I could have sold Subarus.
Right.
Right? I could have sold Jeeps or Chevys or like, I
Or
could have
whatever
sold
car brand. Yeah.
Toyotas. There are car dealerships everywhere, but I chose the car dealership that I could get a job at that sold the most expensive cars, because I knew if I wanted a high commission, I had to start by selling the most expensive cars.
Yep.
And I don't even like luxury cars. It's not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I made $1.5 million in commissions that year. And from a standing start, and developed an amazing process for selling extremely expensive cars and landing sales jobs, even with no experience in these types of dealerships. Would you like me to teach you my process for selling super expensive cars?
Well, it definitely sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Why do you want to know how to do that?
Well, because I think your success was awesome, and then I would like to know how to do that because it help me with some other stuff in the
Right.
business.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing is, all of that was completely made up on the spot. I just made all of that up. It was not real. Okay. So disclaimer, I just totally bullshitted you, right? I don't know how much you believed and how much you didn't, or whatever, but like, it was
Just telling
not.
me a story.
I've never sold a Jaguar in my life, and I've never been a car salesman. All right. However, I told you the story that I was a very successful car salesman and I made a crap load of money. I this is not rehearsed. I've never even used this story before. I just, just kind of made it up, and I was trying to get away with it. Right. And, as a result of you hearing about my success, and me convincing you that I was successful, even though I had to lie to do it in this case, you wanted to opt into my list, to buy the course, to get on the webinar, to buy the coaching program, to read the ebook, to watch the video series, whatever medium that's being delivered in. If you could possibly scrape the money together for it, like, we would have had a sale, right? So the reason for that is you were convinced that I had figured out and I knew how to do it, and I wasn't going to waste your time, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was going to save you more time than whatever you'd have to pay in order to learn my formula.
Right.
You haven't figured out the formula yet, Curtis.
Yep.
And you know it. And so you can't confidently tell people to follow you, because you don't know.
Right.
You follow you where? I don't know, but follow me. Hopefully it'll all work out and I won't lead us all to our certain death. I mean, so you are focused on achieving a certain level of business success and financial freedom that you haven't achieved yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And most people are, right, who are in business, are trying to achieve a level that they haven't achieved yet. Like no matter how much you achieve, you kind of want to achieve a different level or something.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for people to believe that they should follow you.
Right.
I understand that that's you're learning internet marketing, you're learning affiliate marketing, you're trying to figure out how to do it. That's where your head's at.
Yeah.
But it's like the blind leading the blind. You don't, and you're blowing smoke because you know that you don't know.
Yeah.
You know that you haven't made $1 million from this thing, right? Or 100,000, and so you know that you're like, hey, follow this link and go check out this person's sales page and maybe it'll work for you. Not gonna fly, dude. Okay, like, you can't do that. Like, if you have any conscience, you can't otherwise you're just bullshitting people, right? And so so many affiliate marketers fall into this trap of, oh, I'm trying to promote somebody else's thing, but I haven't seen success yet. And so how do I make money when I've not made any money and convince people to follow me when I don't know what I'm doing? Right.
Yeah.
When I don't have a proven, I mean, you know, a lot of things, you've learned a lot of skills, but you haven't had whatever, you haven't broke the $1 million barrier yet. Right. And so, that's why I suggest that people go with what they know with their niche or their market instead of going into the internet marketing or how to make money market, because you have no credibility yet. Right. But if I went on WAP and launched a course on how to land a job at a luxury car dealership and how to become the top car salesman at a luxury car dealership, like, people would buy that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And the reality is I could do that if I interviewed a bunch of like top luxury car salesmen, and created a product from it. So even not knowing how to do it, I could still do it, or one could still do it. And that's the power of a summit, right? Is if you don't know, that's why you run a summit, right? Or something like that. So that's the point, is like, if the mission is around parenting, Curtis, then that should be like the headline of the mission should be about
parenting,
how you're helping parents, not how you're going to help yourself, which is yes, that is the byproduct of a successful business, is more money for you, right? But that's not what your customers aren't going to do business for you because you want more money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're not going to give you money because you want more money.
No, they want the benefits of themselves to be helped with, right?
And they want to identify with your mission. They want to invest in someone that they believe in. They want to follow someone they believe in, right?
Yep.
And so check this out. There is something that might be helpful for you.
Okay.
I was on WAP and I was learning more about being a clipper on WAP, and I was watching videos, and I was watching videos that were inside of the different content rewards programs that I joined, so that I could clip the content, and which is like remixing a video right into a social media post. And when we take a long form video like this and we run it through something like Opus, that's using AI to do a remix on the video.
Yep.
Competitive clippers are basically really good young video editors. And Opus is cool, but it's like a wicked shortcut. You're not going to get like a crushing video on Opus most of the time.
No.
It's not like a beautiful work of art. And so people upload their content, and WAP itself has content rewards, and they have videos of interviews that they've done with successful entrepreneurs that they use, and then tell people to clip and then post to their social. And so I was watching these videos and thinking about, okay, how would this work? Because I want to understand how to be a successful clipper, so that I can empower the Get Shit Done community to be successful clippers of Get Shit Done content. And so we can create Get Shit Done content that has the possibility of going viral and spreading and being great for everyone, right? That's kind of the whole idea. So what ended up happening was I watched this video about this guy, is a young guy, like 20s.
Yeah.
Who he just decided to go out there and do every side hustle.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And tell people what worked. But he's doing like real world side hustles. And then he makes videos about them, and then he sells a course on how to do side hustles.
Oh wow.
And so what I saw that made me think of you is you're a very hands-on guy. You're a very tactical guy. You're trying to learn internet marketing stuff, but you've been struggling with it, and you've been trying to build a business online while you're working full time with your body, 9 to 5. You know, like you're someone that I would call very physically embodied, right? Like you channel it through your body, right? Like you're an athlete, you know, and you have been in, you know, your whole life and whatever. And so one of the short videos that this guy made, and then it was an example video, was he's like, okay, so first I went to the print shop and printed up these little door hangers. And they had the rectangular door hangers that you hang on people's doorknobs. And the door, and it said window washing. Okay. Had a phone number, maybe had a price on it. And I think he was charging $100 an hour, you know, $100 an hour for windows or whatever it was. And he went and he hung up 100 of them. And within a couple hours, he got a few jobs. Nice. And he went out and he made $150 in 2 hours washing windows on day one. And on day two, he made $300 spending the day washing windows and whatever. And like literally in less than a week, he had a window side hustle that was making him multiple $100s a day. Okay. Nice. And then like fast forwarded to the fall, and he had a rented leaf blower on his back. Okay. And then of course in the winter, there's plenty of snow and ice to get rid of. Right. And then, you know, in the spring and the summer, there's plenty of, cleaning to do. And so real world practical handyman side hustles, and starting with things that take absolute minimal equipment to get profit rolling. Right. And so you know how we were experimenting with the idea of, okay, well, if just one day you can make the amount of money in a side hustle that you normally would make in a full day of work, then that's a win. Right. And that number was around $150. And so what if you went and did window washing as an example, and documented the process. Okay, like documented the process. And anyway, maybe I can find this guy's name if I go and I look back for it. Maybe you can go check out what he's doing online. But if he's doing it, there are probably other people doing it. And window washing, car washing, I guess, raking, lawn mowing, gardening. I mean, house painting if you want to go there. Landscaping, snow removal, leaf removal. I mean, you have all 4 seasons.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
there's work. There's outside work to do, and so the challenge being that to start, you'd need to do that on the weekends.
Yeah.
To get the ball rolling, and then once you have a full day of work, then you're going to make like $400 or $500 a day.
Yep.
You know, and you can maybe only work 4 days a week at the job. You know. And slowly shift it over. But my thinking, Curtis, was, would it be easier for you to make more money in the physical world since you kind of spend all your time in the physical world? Right. I tend to not like it's good for me to spend more time in the physical world because I tend to spend most of my time in my head and on screen. Right. Yeah. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, that's pretty cool. You're probably right, though. I'm probably more of a physical doing type person. I'm a little bit shy, though, I think, trying to talk to people generally. So be that a little thing for me to get over, obviously.
Yeah, that's something to practice, dude.
Yep, that's all that is, really. It's skill, right? It's probably a skill I haven't really developed over the years. But I'm sure I can get over that. But it's a good idea. Will I do it? I don't know yet. I have to find what I need to get done. Right? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like window washing, I clean windows all day at work. So, right. So, kind
Well,
of
then
difficult.
that might be a good place to start.
Yep.
Right. And you used to install house windows.
Yep. That's right.
So you probably have do you have all the gear for cleaning windows?
No, we didn't. It was just stuff we used, what the company had, right? So
Okay.
that was it.
Well, yeah. So,
You can buy it. It's not hard. Just go to Home Depot
yeah,
or something with it.
right. Right. So, buy the gear after you get your first client booked or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah. Sure.
but just consider since I was like, dude, what's your mission? What are you trying to create? And I understand that you kept bringing it back to you and your family for
Yep.
you and your family. But the real question is,
How can I help others?
if the parenting stuff, like if you're just not, if that isn't that important to you, then,
Yeah.
Maybe it is that important to you. But if
Mhm.
it's not, then maybe just like building some sort of like a handyman business,
Yep.
makes sense, and do it, and start with window washing since you already know what you're doing. Like, if people want their windows washed in a weekend and you're willing to do it for $150 or whatever, like you're not competing with anybody else because nobody else put it on their doorknob, like.
Yep. True. Well, there's actually companies there that are called like TaskRabbit and stuff that you can actually do handyman work with as well.
Well,
So if you're not sure, they'll say they'll find the job for you, and if you have the skill set, they'll make sure you know what you're doing, and then you can use that maybe.
Totally. I've heard of TaskRabbit, but I years ago.
Yeah, I think I know. I've heard it too. I've never used it, but it's still around. I see people do stuff. That's weird. Why is that guy over there doing that
Right.
house? And some other subcontracted type person from TaskRabbit.
Right.
And they can assess all your skills and you input. And I think I don't know if you pay anything to do it or not. I don't know.
Yeah. So that, I mean, if you're just trying to make money, man, if that's all it comes down to, then why not do something you know how to do to make money and like do it outside of your job and see if you can get paid more than you can by the hour on a consistent basis and slowly ramp it up. Like, you're obviously not afraid of hard work and you're already in good shape and you can do all that kind of stuff. So why not get paid $300 a day or more to wash somebody's big, house? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Look into it.
Power washing is another example, right? Like,
Yeah,
you can rent the gear to get the ball rolling if that's what you need to do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Home Depot stuff. Yeah, just get a couple of jobs and charge them the same amount as you're renting it, plus a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah, cool.
Totally. So, okay. So the nature of your question today, I think is actually related to this conversation, even though it didn't sound like it so much. But let's see, where's the question you asked? Actually, do you have it? Yeah, well, the question was, look, I'm struggling getting people from Instagram and my podcast to sign up to my email list.
Yep.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Great. So, first of all, without looking at the social and without looking at the podcast and without looking at the landing page.
Yep.
Okay. I want to just have a discussion about this. So, and actually, do you need to be done at noon? Because that's in 4 minutes.
I'll get a little over. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So let's talk. Do you want to talk about Instagram or the podcast first?
Let's do podcast first.
Okay. What's the name of the podcast?
Hardworking Parents Club.
Okay.
Do it every Sunday morning.
Yep. And what is the reason for its existence? What do you do? Why would people listen to the podcast?
I just help the parents with mindset and develop like time-saving techniques and just to help them out with some of the basic stuff that parents run into. It's usually money, time, and then how to be able to deal with work and kid stuff and be tired, how to get over being tired all the time and stuff like that.
Great.
Especially new parents is harder than older, like they get older kids. So
Helpful parenting tips. Helpful tips for new parents.
yep.
Right? So so you need to clean up your one-liner. Maybe helpful tips for new parents is an example, but like you need to be able to stay way more clearly.
Yeah.
What you're doing to help parents. Okay?
Yep.
So helpful tips is cool, except it's vague. Okay? If you think about like the cover of a woman's and this is not a sexist comment, it's just the way things tend to, like a women's magazine at the checkout line in the grocery store, like Glamour, or I don't even know what the titles, Cosmopolitan, or whatever the titles are, right? If they're going to give tips for women, they're always very specific. There's a headline that's very specific. So like time-saving tips for busy parents. 7 time-saving tips, and if your podcast was called Parent Time, right, and then it was time-saving tips for busy parents, then you've got like we help busy parents save time and get their time and their life back. So they actually have some time to spend with their family instead of just running around like a chicken with their head cut off or whatever. Right? Time-saving tips for busy parents is an example of a really clear statement. So the purpose and the reason behind your podcast, that's it's not tight enough. There's no headline.
Yep.
That's the first reason nobody's signing up to your email list from your podcast. Okay. The second reason is because the title of your podcast is not the same as the title of your website, right? So Hardworking Parents Club is the name of the podcast. What's the name of the website?
Hardworking Dad Club.
Okay. You've just knocked out 3/4 of your audience, maybe 80% of your audience between your podcast and then telling them to go to join your email list.
Okay.
Think about it this way. Who is more willing to ask for help in a traditional family relationship, the man or the woman?
The woman.
Okay. Who takes the kids to the doctor?
The woman usually.
Like, who takes the kids to play dates?
Women. Sometimes the dad.
Like, again, I'm being extremely sexist here, but like this is the general. Even for like woke couples, unless you're same-sex couples, like if you're I don't even know opposing sex. Hopefully it's not opposing, but if opposite sex couples, like generally people fall into these roles, and at least in my experience. And when you look at like life coaching, who do you think signs up for life coaching?
Mixed, both.
But more women generally. Hypnosis, more women generally. Okay. Unless you're specializing in something that's particular to a masculine market, generally speaking, women are more willing and able to seek out help, to ask for help, to spend time, effort, energy, and money on getting help than men are. Most men are like, I should be able to do this myself. I don't need to go ask for help. I am a wussy weakling if I ask for help. No, I can do this. Right. Some of us try to ask for help more often. I try to ask for help, but you're going from Hardworking Parents Club to Hardworking Dads Club is literally cutting off. I would suspect 80% of your potential prospects are not going to the link because they're not a dad. I would suggest probably most of the people that will ever listen to your podcast are probably going to be women.
Right.
Okay. So the first reason that nobody's joining your list is because
domain name.
It's not clear what the benefit is of the podcast, which is the content that you're creating for the public. It's the free content you're creating and you're putting it out there to the public to bring people into your world. right? And so that's not clear enough. You need to focus on what you're going to help people with. What are you going to come back? So get shit done. This is the Get Shit Done show. We train entrepreneurs to get shit done. We increase your productivity, overcome procrastination, help you get more of your time back. Like that's what Get Shit Done is all about. Get more of the most important shit done in less time, right? But like when you say get shit done, everybody kind of knows that it means stop loafing around and get some shit done, right? Let's get to it. Like let's stop, right? Let's stop messing around and buckle down. So, first reason, your initial idea, your initial headline, and the message that you're conveying with your podcast and probably your Instagram is not strong and clear enough. The second reason is that you're going from parents to dads when you're driving people from your social, from your podcast to your opt-in. If it's for parents, then you need a different URL, dude. You need to fix that now.
Yeah, I can do that. Yep.
Right now. Like really soon.
Me and second, I'm going to
what's that?
I'm go into Pork Bun and do it.
Dude, try with the parents thing. Like, what would happen if you changed it? I don't know if hardworking parents doesn't have the same allure as hardworking dads. Like dads, like, let's work hard. But I don't think that's where. I don't think that's the vibe that women, especially new moms, have. I don't think it's about working hard right now. It's about being nurturing and caring and being present and raising the child and doing doing a good job to do that and being a good mom, being a good parent, being like more caring, more responsible, but not necessarily. I mean, they already have to work hard. I don't think they want. I don't necessarily think they want that. Maybe I'm wrong, but what about like? Parents process, or like the parenting club, or the
parent club.
Perfect parenting doesn't sound good. That sounds a little too high strung. But like, I'm trying to think of something that a new parent, and I mean, I was a new parent, so I'm trying to think about something that a new parent wants that sounds good with the word parent, right?
Right. ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, circle back on it later. Let me know what ideas you come up with or whatever. But so here's the thing, dude. If you're going from a clear message for what your podcast is all about, and that goes to, and that's on your social, Instagram or otherwise, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, blah, 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 LinkedIn, it's all the same, right? It's like the message is we're helping parents do this, right? And I mean, for example, okay, this is hard hitting, but helping parents stay together after they've had their first child, like, right? Like it's like parent glue or something. I don't know, like like remember how to remember how to love each other as your family grows. Or something. Like that's a very real thing. Like tons of people split up after having their first child because they can't deal with the emotional strain. And it's like it's painful. It's hard. So like if what you're doing is helping parents stay together as they bring children into the family, like that's a powerful mission, right? But I mean, you haven't even talked about that really before. So I don't know that that's what you should focus on, but it's an example of something that's like an emotionally loaded topic, So if whatever it is, if again, if it comes back to side, so dude, for example, if it comes back to side hustles,
Yep.
and maybe it does and maybe it doesn't. It doesn't have to, dude. It doesn't have to. But like the cool part about side hustles is it gives you stuff to make money with.
Yeah.
And so like maybe if the whole point is side hustles for busy parents, right?
Yep.
I mean, maybe the name of your podcast is Side Hustles for Parents. And you're like, hi, I'm Curtis, and I install windshields for a living, and I started Side Hustles for Busy Parents because I'm a busy parent, and I need to make more money, and so I'm trying a bunch of different side hustles out and reporting to you what works and what doesn't.
Yep.
And so, and maybe you start by washing windows instead of doing all the internet stuff that's kind of like been a struggle and been challenging. Like go out, like learn from YouTube and ChatGPT how to like start a window washing business, how to start a power washing business, how to start a locksmith business, you know, how to start, you know, and then just like spend the weekend trying to make some money doing one of these things. And sooner or later, you're going to find one that you really like and you'll probably stick with.
Yep.
Right. And maybe you only need to work 2 or 3 days a week and you can make twice as much money as you were making installing Windows once you
Yep.
get it locked in. But and maybe what you find is you try 50 different, maybe you love trying new side hustles and you try 50 different ones and you find that 10 of them are like the winners and you create a course about it. Like, but I like the idea of real world side hustles because so many people have like a aversion to internet and computer stuff. It's like, what if we just taught you how to do real world side hustles for, you know, for busy parents kind of a thing. But you know, that would give you a way of making money that's very practical, real, tangible, and like no BS.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Go hang up some window washing door hangers on 100 houses. See if you get any phone calls.
Okay.
You know, and then and then make a YouTube video about it or whatever. You know, and like document the process. Hey, this is Curtis. We just got our first door hangers back from the printers. It cost me, you know, $150 to print up 100 of these things. So I hope they're worth it. You know, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay.
And then go hang them on. What's that?
No, I looked on Chat GPT here. Want to hear a couple of them?
Yeah.
Using Hardworking Parents Club. It says Grit and Grace Parents, Hustling Parenting, Strong Roots Club, Hardworking Parent Hub, Parent Fuel Nation, Tireless Parents, Daily Parent Grind, I like that one, Parent Hustler Club, Resilient Parenting, Rise and Parent. And they gave me 10. So
yeah, there's a reason we're having a hard time coming up with the word. The word parent doesn't lend itself to like a bunch of awesome words. I don't know. I'd ask for more rhyming and alliteration.
okay.
Cool. At any rate, dude, so it needs to go from the idea, from the core idea and essentially the headline of your podcast or of the core principle that you're focused on with your Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
And then like with Instagram or TikTok, for example, whatever that headline is, whatever that core idea is, that's going into your bio.
Yeah.
Okay. And and you're gonna alter it for however many characters you have, right? And then the URL needs to reflect the core idea behind your project. Okay. And then you know, and behind what you're doing with social. Same idea, the exact same, whatever it is. Help busy parents find side hustles, whatever.
Okay.
And I also like part-time side hustles for busy parents.
Yeah.
Right. And so Profitable part-time side hustles for busy parents, dude. That's actually a pretty good headline. Profitable part-time side hustles for busy parents. That's going to go into your bio. That's going to go into your one-liners in your podcast. You're essentially your commercials for yourself in your podcast, right? And it's going to go into the description on your podcast, right? You're going to use ideas around this, around the titling of your podcast episodes, and around the types of content that you're putting on social. So this is called thought threading. Okay, and so you need to start with the core idea, the core principle, the core headline, the core concept at the very beginning of the marketing path, which in this case is social and podcast. Down to the title of your URL, down to the topic that you're focused on, like the whole thing. And then if people are listening to your podcast if people are listening to your podcast to save their marriage, then your episode should be about helping people save their marriage, and your URL should be about helping people save their marriage. And the Instagram posts in some way, shape, or form should be about how to improve their relationship and save their marriage and be more supportive of their relationship, of their family, and all these things. And so when people hit your landing page, when they hit your opt-in page, the headline should be about saving your marriage. Okay. And that should be the name of the email list and the reason that they're joining the email list. But if you're not trying to get people to join your email list, if what you're trying to do is sell your brand new book, your book better be about saving your marriage. Right. And if you're not selling a book, but you're selling a course on WAP, the WAP should be about saving your marriage. And so the point is that your copy isn't tight enough, and your core idea isn't carrying through very strongly from the beginning of the marketing path to the end.
Right.
You need to fix that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I mean, that's why.
It's one of them. Yeah. All right.
I'll
just change my domain name, but I don't know which one I should use, so that might be a little bit of hang up. So
it's like
you want to hear a couple rhyming domain names they found?
A couple of what?
Rhyming domain ideas from ChatGPT.
Okay.
Mums and Jobs. Grind and Shine Club. Work and Perk Parents. Sweet and Set Club. Thrive and Drive. Bam.
I don't like those. No.
Busy Bee Club.
Those are a little weak in my opinion.
Yep, and they had Family Fuel Force. That's me.
Right.
Power Parent Pack. Bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, dude, I don't know. Like, you have to figure out what you're doing. Like, are you teaching parenting? Are you doing side hustles? Like, what are you actually doing?
The combo of parenting and side hustles. The combo of both, because that's what I'm parent and I'm trying to find side hustles to do. Like online stuff mostly. That's what I was thinking. But then you brought up the real world stuff, which I know I could probably do no problems.
Then you might as well do it. If nothing else, you get some extra cash flowing. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, I'm not saying drop all the things you're doing on the internet, but like you totally could. If you want to make money doing your own thing, if that's the goal, you're gonna. We both know you're gonna spend time doing something, right? And like doing real world stuff ultimately is not as. You can't get as much leverage on it in most cases as you can with digital stuff. But if you're having a hard time getting any leverage with digital stuff, maybe what you need to do is really be focused on something you already know how to do more. You have confidence you can do it. You can do it well, and you can probably get some people to pay you some good money for it. You know, just make sure that you're making significantly more hour per hour than you would in your job. Like you have to be making at least double, if not more, what you'd make in your job for the same amount of time spent. That's the key. You know, like go for double, triple, quadruple for hours spent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Cool.
that's more beneficial, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hi, Nelly. Yes, we can see you. Welcome. It's interesting. Here's the other thing that I noticed, Curtis. I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not, but I was resistant when Restream tried to get me to broadcast in this vertical format.
Yep.
And it gets a ton more people on YouTube that see the video and
vertical.
interact and comment.
Yeah, it's the vertical thing for some reason. They
Yeah.
can see it in shorts as well.
Right, exactly. And so it's usually on YouTube, it's usually people that I don't know, which is a little weird, but maybe I'll get to know people over time, like Nelly, for example. Nelly, what's your deal? Do we know each other? Are you an entrepreneur? Do you sell anything? What are you up to? Actually, out of curiosity for anybody watching, what side hustles have you ever tried? What side hustles have you ever tried? I'll start. So my first side hustle was my salsa company. I started making and selling salsa out of my dorm room in college, and that became Tellman Salsa. It was before anybody used the word side hustle. 1996. I became a didgeridoo player that same year, and a few years later made bamboo didgeridoos and sold them along with magic wands to like new age crystal stores and that kind of stuff, like new age woo kind of places throughout New England. That was called the Didge Wizard. Started a landscaping business that completely failed because there was a drought that year. It was like a summer side hustle during college. Tried to mow lawns, got all these brochures printed up, and literally it just did not rain for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And we had these sweet lawn mowers we had put all our money into.
Oh my
It
goodness.
didn't get any use. It was lame. And then what else? There were more. I mean, this is kind of a side hustle. I sold Cutco door to door in college. I did the Cutco knife salesman thing.
I remember you saying that.
I got involved with a company called Ski Coupons. And I sold, this is the early days of the internet. I sold coupon advertising packages to places up near the ski mountain that sold, ski related restaurants, ski shops, all this kind of stuff, tourist attractions. There are so many side hustles that are out there that you can either start on your own or potential opportunities that you can plug into that other people have going. But I would recommend, like, seriously, what side hustles have you guys tried? I'm curious. In particular, real world ones versus just internet ones, right? What do you guys have? Very, very curious. So, nobody's chiming in with any side hustles. So I guess people just aren't that motivated to try new things. Curtis, don't be one of those people. Be a person that tries something new. Curtis, what's the first side hustle you're going to try?
I think I try the window one.
Do it.
Or the power washer, which I need to do in my own house. So I'll probably rent the machine and try to promote it, do a video that way.
Dude, try it.
Hey, look at you, driveway. And can I do your driveway type thing,
That's right. And then, like, if TaskRabbit is a thing, go and sign up as a power washer on TaskRabbit. See if you can get some
that's
jobs.
probably that's easier to get. it's easy to get jobs, and me being kind of shy with sales and talking to people, that might be more of a benefit in that respect. To get started anyway.
Totally, do it. Line up, see what you can get, dude. See what you can get. See,
Yeah.
try shifting some things around. Try some different things. Like break out of the same pattern. You know.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I would. Oh, we got Silk City hot sauce.
Nice.
This is great. We got Jeff Levine, and Jeff says in 2005, I taught a 3-hour religious weekend class for third graders. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. Good old fashioned spiritual side hustles. That's awesome. Cool, Jeff. Jeff and I, we were talking about you earlier, Jeff. I was telling Curtis all about Whatnot and our live stream that we did yesterday and all the different things we learned. Yeah. Wow, he says it paid $300. It was a sweet side gig action. That's right. But like literally, Curtis, Jeff and I taught ourselves how to use Whatnot yesterday and attempted to sell some stuff. It didn't work the first, we didn't sell anything the first day, but we learned a lot. And so like that's another example of a side hustle is like get on there and like try to sell an antique plate that's in storage or something. I don't know, something that you got that you want to get rid of anyway.
Yeah. Well, I have an old desk cabinet. Maybe try that.
You can try it. I mean, who knows? Somebody might buy your desk. The thing about it is people have to pay shipping.
Oh, okay.
And so shipping can get expensive with something that big, right?
Be more local people can pick it up or something.
Yeah. Jeff, you know what? Do you how long do you have, Curtis? Do you have to go?
I have like probably another 10 minutes or so. We gotta get going.
Jeff, do you want to come on the show right now? If you do, let me know. And in the meantime, I was going to ask you, Jeff, if you want to do another live stream today. Do you want to do another one today? Because we could. If you can't wait for the next one, we could just totally do it. So let me know what you're up for. If you want, we could. I'm just going to get an invite, and what I'm going to do is I don't know what it will look like with 3 of us on this vertical format. It's going to be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Here's the invite link. I don't know. Hey, Ty Cohen, what's up, dude?
Ty Cohen.
We haven't talked in a long time. Yep.
I think he does the book thing. Kindle book guy.
Kindle Cashflow. Yeah, I've known Ty forever. We made a lot of money together back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah, Ty's Kindle Cashflow, another example of a great long time proven side hustle, right?
Yep.
Ty, I'm envious of Ty because he's like Jeff Walker. He's just like sticks with it. Jeff just stuck with product launch formula for 25 years. Ty is just like Kindle Cashflow all the way, baby. Like no, like absolute long-term focus. It's amazing to me. Amazing. Like I get a new idea every 2.5 minutes. It's just like I'm really impressed with your if you are watching, Ty, I'm impressed with your ability to kind of like stay the course without deviation.
Yeah.
Right? It's impressive.
Cool.
Let me see. Jeff, I'm going to give you a link to join Restream. I just sent it to you on text message, and I think I can send it to you on Facebook as well. It just might take me a second. I don't know if you want to join us or not, but if you do, you can. And let me open up the chat window again. I'll be available in 3 minutes, he says. He said that 2 minutes ago. All right, cool. So, guys, you guys Oh, what's going on? Are we back? All right, we're back.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Had a little technical difficulty of some sort there. So yeah, Jeff should be joining us here any minute.
All
Jukebox
right.
Hero, welcome. Discord mod, welcome. Izziness, welcome. Mercedes, you must have heard us talking about luxury cars earlier. Lying about luxury cars. Gooeyest guys, that's great. Leah, welcome. Polaris, I got like a checker marks image. That's cool. Welcome. The History Company, welcome. Jake, welcome. Michael, Kylie, I think. HP Fishin, welcome. Cool. Yeah. And I'm gonna send Jeff the link on Facebook Messenger in addition, because I'm not sure if his phone is hooked up to his desktop messaging system. All right, where are you, Jeff? We can do this. Curtis,
Yep.
do you have any questions about anything that we talked about in terms of your thought threading and lining up your messaging and what your stuff is all about, from social all the way through the opt-in and then the product that you're offering after the opt-in, hopefully? Like, did all that make sense, or do you need any more clarity around that?
It makes sense. It makes sense what you're talking about. I think it's just a matter of trying to get it lined up so I know exactly what I want to do, like what I'm going to say, because you have a website name that's relatable to your podcast, which is related to the items that you're trying to sell. Is my idea of what you're trying to tell me, and from there you just got to figure one spot, and then once that happens, you can go move on through the next.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, I can probably do a couple of real world side hustles, and then just make some extra cash so I can fund my online business that we develop.
That's right. All right, Jeff, you're coming on next. I don't know what it's going to look like with three of us.
Oh, you stacked on phone. We're all three of us are stacked.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
Good. How you doing today?
Good, man. Curtis, nice to meet you.
You too, Jeff.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'll be, and just for the record, I left a message on your Facebook page. I'd love to be a guest on your show as well.
Awesome. We'll get you on.
Jeff,
excellent.
Jeff is a hardworking parent and a hardworking dad.
Yeah,
that's right.
It takes a lot of work, time, devotion, dedication, fun, spirit, tears.
Oh yeah.
But we should all listen to Tellman.
For sure.
Everyone should listen to Tellman. I mean, that's really the motto, right?
Jeff.
This is for everyone's benefit. So, number one, how do you personally make most of your income?
For the past couple of years, I've been making most of my income on eBay.
Doing what?
Selling merchandise across like many gamuts. I mean, we're talking magazines, comic books, ephemera, postcards, books, music, CDs, junk that I find at storage containers.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you see on TV, like Storage Wars and stuff like that. I've never seen that show, but I mean, it's real. There's like merchandise just sitting in storage containers, and there's buyers just sitting out in the world waiting for this crap.
Yep. That's interesting.
You would be amazed how much people will pay for stuff, Curtis.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to make $150 a day, that's easy being a reseller. There's no doubt about it.
Interesting. I didn't know it was that easy, or it sounds easy.
It's you'd be shocked you'd be really shocked if you knew that there's many collectors out there for everything. It's really weird.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I know. I've seen some of the TV shows.
So you sell. I don't know. Over the time that you've been doing this, Jeff, I know I'm having like all you can see is the outer space background.
camera turned
I'm
off,
having
yeah.
technical difficulties. We'll get back online here at some point. But in the meantime, Jeff, there we are. So, what type of thing have you made the most money with selling on eBay in the last, like cumulatively in the last 4 or 5 years, or however long you've been doing this?
Specifically, like the genre of item.
Yeah.
Like comic books.
Cool. Right. So you've sold a bunch of comic books, and I have another local friend who buys and sells comic books on eBay. And I have another friend who used to be local, but now he lives in Colorado, but he might be moving back, who buys and sells antique model, like old metal train cars and Lego sets.
Amazing.
Right? And he flips Lego sets. And so there are, and in the meantime, Jeff, you have your hot sauce business.
Yeah, and I'll run that and make a good, like, the hot sauce business is good. I mean, it's not two mortgage 2 kids 30,000 bills great.
Not yet.
But if I was a single guy and I was just running this hot sauce business, no, exactly, not yet. But if I was just a single guy and I was running this hot sauce business, I'd be fine.
Right.
Just with that, but
right.
With everyone else under this roof here, it's not enough. But
so you're buying and selling stuff on eBay, and do you generally buy and sell stuff that you know something about?
Typically, but I'll jump into categories I don't know anything about, like vinyl records. I'm not I like music, obviously, like who doesn't, but I'll buy gigantic collections of records if I see them really cheap, like thousands of records for like $100. I bought one time, and was it the smartest move? I mean, literally I bought thousands of junky records for like $100, and they're hard. That's a hard sell.
Yeah. So, and then your wife also has her own business.
Yes, that and if you're talking side hustles, she is the queen of the instant side hustle, and she is destroying it. Tellman and Curtis, it's unreal. Like I've been kind of like side hustling my whole life. We all have. I mean, I know I'm in good company here, and anyone else that's listening, like, we are side hustlers. And sometimes you don't like there's like a blur between like the front hustle and the side hustle. Like, there's just so many side hustles that it's all kind of like mishmash into one Voltron hustle, but my wife, she's like, a stay-at-home mom now, and has got a really good eye for fashion and certain brands.
Cool.
And she's doing the same thing that I do with comic books and all that junk with clothing. Curtis, Tellman knows.
Yeah.
And she goes to the Goodwill. She goes to several places throughout southern Vermont where people are basically getting rid of clothes. People think things are junk, but there's millions of customers, like I said, for everything. So she's spending maybe $20 to $30 a week on used clothing, and she's selling on 3 platforms: Vinted, Poshmark, which allows you to go live too and sell like whatnot and that style, but you can also do buy it now, and she sells on Facebook Marketplace.
So, Curtis, these are the kind of people you should be interviewing for your show, dude.
Yeah.
Parents who are actually making money doing something cool.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
man.
interview parents who are doing side hustles.
Yeah, man. And we have fun with it. Like, as a family, we'll hop in the family truckster and take a ride to Wilmington, which is a beautiful trip, like 30 minutes away, and go to a vintage store. And Mount Snow is just up the road, so we'll go vintage hunting, and then take a stroll down the backside of Mount Snow. That's and right. Have a beautiful hike and bring the dog.
It's perfect.
That's family time. I mean, we're spending time with the family, and the kids. The kids love thrift stores because they all have toy sections.
That's right. That's right. So these are great examples. So, Jeff, thank you for just like opening the kimono, so to speak, and sharing with us all this stuff. I know it wasn't planned. It's kind of on the spot. So thanks for being so open.
Sure. I love the show, so I'm happy to be here.
Cool. All right, guys. I think we're wrapping up. So why don't we do a little of this? Jeff, thank you for jumping on. Where can people go to buy your hot sauce?
Yeah, everyone, check out silkcityhotsauce.com. SILK City hotsauce.com. Silk City is an homage to Paterson, New Jersey, where my ancestors are from. It's also an homage to the old Silk Road, where spices were traded thousands of years ago.
That's
so
right.
For silkcityhotsauce.com. Right now, there's 9 amazing flavors on there, like peach habanero and psychic Bigfoot and shake and pour over with resemblance of the band Kiss on the label. I haven't been sued yet, but we're waiting for it. Then we'll come out with the cease and desist hot sauce. But it's all good stuff, locally made and reasonably heated. It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
not gonna explode your head.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. And Curtis, what about you? Where can people go to learn more about Side Hustles for Parents?
Yep. Hardworking Parents, or hardworkingdadclub.com. Sorry.
That's right.
Trying to think of a different name now, so I got stuck on that one.
Nice. Awesome. All right, rock and roll, everybody. Go if you're an entrepreneur and you want to get more done, go to getshitdone.com and join us. Thank you for being here for episode 124 on Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, Jeff.
May the 4th be with you.
All right, guys. May the 4th be with you guys too.
This is not the marketer you're looking for. All right, guys. Over and out. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That's good.